The last piece of the puzzle for today is to just talk about, great, we've spoken about data, we've spoken about security, we've spoken about assets and facilities management, and now what are the kind of things that we're doing in this institutional operational space, and how can Microsoft help us with this? So in order to have a conversation, I just wanted to kind of set up a couple of key things. So firstly, the way that Dynamics and the whole Microsoft environment works is that we want to give access to anyone at any time, obviously in a secure way, obviously controlled properly through the right IT principles, but we want to make sure that whether they're using a laptop, whether they're on a tablet or a mobile, as Graham was saying, different users for different purposes. The backend administrators would log in maybe on their laptop, but a student would log in and consume information and data over their mobile phone. Maybe a member of faculty will log into the portal on their tablet device. So we need to make sure that we're building once, and that's made available over the different kind of ways that people access technology. The next thing is that being Microsoft products, these things are all fully integrated. So if I wanted to have an asset management tool, a requisition, the asset requisition tool, I could put that inside of Teams. We can share maybe work orders through Teams. And so as Teams becomes this massive environment where we're sharing, collaborating, we're using it to educate, we're doing more with it, we can bring that whole Dynamics environment into Teams, and we can make sure that the organization is sharing the right information with the right people. The system is completely flexible. So a lot of the stuff that we showed you today is not how it comes out the box. It's things that we've done and working with institutions to say, hey, how do we mold the solution around your organization, around your specific business processes? And here's some rules that we can set up to say, if this condition is met, then I need to follow these principles. And we can get really, really, really highly complex, but to do it in a way that is to use technology terms, in a low-code, no-code kind of environment where I can set up complex business rules and workflows without writing a single line of code. And that just makes sure that you can maintain the systems, that you can support them going into the future, and everything's beautiful. And finally, just on this, before I get into a couple of scenarios, the idea here is that once we've got all this data, we want to bring in the power of Power BI, and we want to embed this intelligence everywhere so that I can report and consume information about all these things wherever I am, whether I'm on my mobile or whatever. And Power BI at the moment is so powerful that I could just pick up my mobile phone, open up the app, and start talking to my data, saying, hey, can you show me which dining hall is most popular today? And it would bring you back some information. So putting that intelligence in the hand of those that need it is super, super important. So from a scenario point of view, I'm going to show you a couple of things that we've done with the Nelson Mandela University down in PE. Craig's probably a little chuckle to himself, some stuff that he was involved in ages ago, but over time we've helped to evolve, and this is a simple kind of situation where we said, okay, similar to the Curo environment that I showed before, where we've got the ability to log from an internal staff point of view, from the ability to log an IT call, or the ability to connect with human resources to maybe log an issue or whatever the case may be. So staff members come to this portal, they start typing, and as they start typing, the options start getting filtered based on what they're typing. This person has got a problem with email, and so ultimately they want to log a call with IT to say, something's wrong with my email account, please can you help me? And of course we can, over here, we can inject things like knowledge base articles to say, are you trying to log a call about email? Well, did you know that you can solve the problem yourself following X, Y, or Z principle? The idea is real self-service. We did a survey recently with students, and we asked them, how would you like to engage? If you had self-service, would you use it? And we had a vast majority of them that said, I absolutely would, but it depends on the context. So portals like this are really good for staff to log issues, to maybe escalate or see what's happening without needing to send emails and pick up phone calls. And students want to use that for that purpose too. Except when it comes to things of, the course that I'm studying, or if it's about exams, or if it's about something like that, I really want to be speaking direct to a person. And so we've got to think about the context of the person, whether it's a student, whether it's a member of faculty or whatever, to say what can we help them through technology to answer some of their questions as quickly as possible. Anyway, that email case would come into Dynamics. I'm not going to go. This is just the same kind of case logging screen that I showed you earlier around Taylor and his broken laptop. Slightly different kind of look and feel, but following the same principle. We can overlay this. I alluded to it earlier with a virtual bot, and here's virtual agents, which is now actually not. It's out of preview and launched into general availability. But you can go build complex bot interactions, automated interactions, using no code at all through this designer tool, where we say, I want to go and say, I can contact this printer directly to get more information. Would you like me to do so? And then give some answers, and then based on the answers, I can follow different branches. It's really pretty straightforward to set up once you've had a little bit of training on it. You don't need to be a developer to understand these things, and you can go and set up really complex interactions. And the beautiful thing about a bot is that it can deal with a lot of queries and self-service kind of issues. So what's the content on the exam this coming week? You can set up a bot to do that. Why not? When is my warranty up for my laptop because I need a new one? Ask a bot. The bot will give you an answer. Hey, is there budget for me to put through an expense? That kind of thing. Whatever you could think of, the bot could go and access that huge data universe that's sitting in Dynamics, and it could give you the answers. And at some point, the bot, you might lose interest as a person, and you want to deal with a human being. And so that's when we can bring that in through things like this omni-channel kind of experience, where this is the bot conversation. The person who was having the conversation, May, with the bot, she indicated, I want to move over to a live chat with a human being, please. And so I'm Lily, the technician, or the person in student service or whatever. And I've said, cool, I can see a chat coming in. And so now I can take over from the bot, and I can talk to May, and I can help her with her issues. I'm going to access the knowledge base at the top here. I can see any kind of recent interactions that we've had with May, and what's going on, so that I can solve her problem as quickly as possible. So really nice use of technology to do things in a more streamlined way. And whether that's WhatsApp, whether it's Facebook Messenger, whether it's live chat, whether it's telephony, whatever, we can bring that conversation through one gate and manage all those conversations using Dynamics. Once we've done that, we can produce some amazing reports. And this is an example of the AI-infused customer service insights, where it's looking at resolution times, and it's trying to spot trends and say, this particular agent is having problems dealing with issues, etc., etc., etc. It even does a little bit, I wouldn't say creepy, but quite intensely, can listen to the phone calls, can determine sentiment, can say the agent's talking too much, not letting the student talk enough, or whatever. There's a bunch of things that we can do when we have access to that data, and that's a really exciting thing. I think we're now no longer limited by the technology. We're only limited by our imagination and the application of that technology to solve some of the problems that you're facing in day-to-day life.